Okay, what's up, you guys? Common Man Review here. Today, we learned a couple of new names are going to be hitting the free agent market. Most importantly, among those guys is going to be Richard Sherman. And while not a free agent, the Seahawks are going to be taking calls about Earl Thomas. Today I'm going to be making a case for and against those two guys. So just bear with me there, and I'm going to try to make a case for each one of those. Frankly, I'm going to go ahead and voice my opinion and say I don't think the Panthers should sign him. I'd like to see him here. I would have liked to see him here years ago. They've given Panthers fans plenty of grief in their time in Seattle in the Legion of Boom, and they had a good run up there. Did get a Super Bowl ring eventually, but their bodies have started breaking down. Their age is going to be a factor now. They're both going to demand a whole lot of money. Earl Thomas is going to be somewhere in the $13 million a year range, and Sherman's probably going to demand $10+ million a year also. So, not a feasible situation for Carolina, who's currently going to be playing with, once they've signed their free agents and done with what they will their money, going to have around $15 million in cap space to bring people in. They're probably going to do what they did in years past and bring in some value guys like they have with Mike Adams and Julius Peppers and some other guys. We broke the bank for Matt Khalil last year, and look where that got us. So, fool me once. We're going to see if we get fooled twice this offseason. I doubt it. I would hate to see it happen again. We try to learn from our mistakes each offseason, but the Panthers have made not too many offseason mistakes until lately with Matt Khalil, and hopefully we learn from that. Also, we let Andrew Norwell and Josh Norman walk. Two of the best players at their position in the league at the time, and it's really baffling, but we got other players that are going to be here that we got to re-sign next season, so I can understand why now, thinking about it and cooling down about it, as to why we let him go. Moton, I hope, can develop into a quality left guard. If not, we'll have to draft one. I wouldn't mind seeing Isaiah Wynn there personally, but that's just my opinion. So the case for these guys is obviously they're two of the top players at their positions, respectively, in the National Football League. Earl Thomas has been the prototypical safety, which you look for. He can hit, cover, defend the run. He's almost a linebacker in some instances. And not a whole lot else to say there. He's been one of the anchors of that secondary since he got drafted out of Texas. And, rumor had it for the longest time he wanted to go to Dallas. There was that whole shebang with him telling Jason Garrett, come get me, I don't want to be here. But Dallas isn't really in a position to do that, nor do they need to. They've got a pretty good young core of players in their secondary. If they can build on that, they'll be good. But frankly, the Carolina Panthers just have too many holes to trade for him. We can't waste valuable draft picks on guys like that. Then they're going to eat up cap space afterwards, and we just can't afford to do that. Right now, we're in a very delicate spot as far as our franchise goes. These next few years are going to be determinant on whether we can be a contender or we're going to be the Carolina Panthers pre-Ron Rivera and Cam Newton, Kuechly, all those guys that were just laughed at every year. And then being a contender in the next 5 or 6 years, for the next 5 or 6, 7 years to come. We currently have one of the best deals going on at quarterback in the NFL as far as post-rookie contracts go. Cam Newton's extension was worth about $100 million at the time he signed it. Then the quarterback market exploded, and now he's one of the lowest paid quarterbacks post-rookie contract in the National Football League. Probably down there with guys like Tannehill and Blake Bortles. Obviously, he has outproduced those two by leaps and bounds, but wasn't what I was saying. He's a very productive quarterback, very good quarterback. He is very clearly the future and present of our franchise. He's going to be there for years to come. We need to build our offense around him and McCaffrey. But I digress. Sherman, he's another guy. I'd love to have seen him here years ago in his prime, but he's too expensive and too old at this point in his career, and not worth the injury risk that comes with those two factors. He is he's a pretty good player still, but like I said, he's old, expensive, and injury prone, and that's if you're gonna pay guys a ton of money, pay the guys like Marcus Peters and those guys that you know, Marcus Peters was a bad example. He's got some off the field stuff. But if you can count on these guys to be available, yeah, go ahead, sink all that money into them. Because they're going to be there for you to return that investment. Guys like Peters who can get suspended, or Sherman who might get hurt, or Earl Thomas for the same reason. You don't want to pay someone to sit there and look good in a Panthers jumpsuit on the sideline. You don't want to pay somebody for that. You want to pay them to perform and play and do what they were hired to do. It's a job. You don't. I'm not going to get hired to go to work, stay there for 5 minutes, clock out, and then get paid for a whole day. That's not how profit works. We profit by these players performing like they're supposed to perform and making the team better. We don't profit by guys like that getting hurt, wasting money, and being just a general distraction like Richard Sherman has been known to be at times. Just if you need an example, look at him ranting about Michael Crabtree in the NFC title game a few years ago. That's Exhibit A. But, yeah, guys, I did not get a chance to get video out today. Some family stuff went on, so I'm going to post some thoughts about what I think the direction the Carolina Panthers are taking this offseason. And just going to talk about two of the hottest names that are becoming available right now. Please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment and review. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything you'd be interested to see next. And I will see you guys next time.